Hi everyone, welcome to today's topic Fibonacci numbers, how they can be extracted from Pascal's triangle, some applications and puzzles. Let's start with how Pascal's triangle gives us the Fibonacci numbers. So, if on a Pascal's triangle you add the elements along the diagonals, you can see you get the Fibonacci numbers. This is true for both the diagonals. Let's see. The first diagonal gives us 1. Second diagonal gives us again 1. 1 plus 1 in the third diagonal gives us 2. 1 plus 2 in the fourth diagonal gives us 3. And 1 plus 3 plus 1 gives us 5. This is how we go. And you can try that with the other diagonal too. In the previous video, we had already defined what Fibonacci numbers are, some of the identities and some results. Now let's see where do they occur. They appear in quite unexpected places. First of all, in nature, the spiral arrangement of seeds in sunflowers. In sunflowers, the number of spirals on each side are either 34 and 55, on one side 34, on the other side 55, or depending on the size of the sunflower, 89 and 144. You can see these are all consecutive Fibonacci numbers, and the angle between the florets is 137.5 degrees. You know that it's called the golden angle or the divergence angle. Such an angle helps avoiding overlap, and it maximizes the exposure to light and optimizes the space. Pine cones have similar pattern. They align with the Fibonacci numbers 8 and 13. So do pineapples and some cacti. So when we talk of spirals, what are these? Let's take the case of sunflower. Now, in a sunflower, all the spirals will start or emanate from the center, and they will be in both the direction. That is, the seeds grow in such a way that they form spirals. Now, these spirals will be in both the directions. We also call it peristiches. In some plants, petals, leaves, and the seeds follow Fibonacci sequence. You know, it's called phyllotaxis, the arrangement of leaves along the stem, along the axis. The nautilus shell sometimes have logarithmic spirals which align with the Fibonacci sequence. In branches like computer science, there are so many algorithms which use them, like Fibonacci heaps, priority queues, recursive algorithms, etc. They are used widely. In cryptography, they come quite handy. Also in financial markets for trading, Fibonacci retracement is used. We should not forget their use in art, architecture, and music. They are used to structure musical compositions for natural flow. Biologists use them to study population growth and cell division. These are some of the applications. So you just saw some of the places where they occur and some of their uses. Let's come to puzzles. Now, the first one says you are given a square of the size 8 by 8 and you have to cut it in such a way that you can make a rectangle of the size 5 by 13. That is, the sides are 5 and 13. All the parts of the squares should be used, and then you have to check whether the area of both the figures, the square and the rectangle, is same or not. Now, let's draw the figure. So here I have already drawn it. You can see the vertical side we have divided into two parts, 3 and 5, and the top part we've just taken to be 8. Now, you take pieces as shown in the square and try to fix them up as they've been done in the second figure. You see that in the first figure, the area is nothing but 8 into 8, which is 64 square units, whereas the area of the rectangle will be 5 into 13, which is 65 square units. So how does this discrepancy happen? How do we get 1 square unit of area more? The reason is A, B, C, D in the second figure do not lie on a straight line, but they are vertices of a parallelogram. And since the parallelogram is so slim that it feels like a straight line, and this gives us that extra square unit of area. Such construction can be done with any square whose sides are Fibonacci number f of 2n. So see here, I have taken a figure where your square has the sides f of 2n. We have divided it as f of 2n minus 2 and f of 2n minus 1. And then when you fix the pieces by taking the side as f of 2n minus 1 and f of 2n plus 1, you can see we will be getting a parallelogram. And this is the area which is so slim that it is not seen by the naked eye. So what we have here is a general figure, a square with sides f of 2n. If we take any particular value for n, we get a particular square. Now, what if I take n to be 3? We will be getting the above figure. And for n is equal to 3, this would be f6. f6 is nothing but 8. And this part of the side will be 3, this will be 5. This is what we had just done above. Now, if you remember, we did one identity in the previous video. F of 2n minus 1 into f of 2n plus 1 minus f of 2n square is equal to 1. Just check your rectangle. The side of the rectangle is f of 2n minus 1 and the other side is f of 2n plus 1. If we multiply, we get the area of this rectangle. So here we have f of 2n minus 1 into f of 2n plus 1. And what is the area of the square? It is f of 2n square. So in this identity, we are subtracting the area of the square from area of the rectangle, and you can see it comes out to be 1. So this parallelogram, which we said is very, very slim, has an area of 1 unit, and this explains the discrepancy. Let's do another puzzle. John asked his friend to solve the following puzzle. He says, let a0 be 0 and a1 be 1. You start with these two and now add them. So when you add a0 plus a1, he says you get a2. To a2, you add a1 and you go on like this. What will be the sum up to a10? Now, his friend is clever. He notices this gives a Fibonacci sequence. He immediately answers 143. So how did he get that? He used the identity summation I value 0 to 10. Fi will be nothing but f of n plus 2 minus 1. Here, n value is 10. So he gets f12 minus 1. F12, the Fibonacci number is 144 minus 1, so answer is 143. So he didn't have to go on adding whatever he got to the previous number. Come to the third puzzle. Given rectangles of sides 1 by 1, 1 by 2, 2 by 3, 3 by 5, 5 by 8, etc. You can see here our sides are nothing but consecutive Fibonacci numbers. You have to find the pattern in the area of such rectangles. So see, areas, if you just find, it will be 1, 2, 6, 15, 40, etc. Let's call them A1, A2, A3, A4, A5. Now, if you use A of n plus 1 is equal to n plus n square, you will get the areas. So, every area can be found by adding n square to the previous area. Take n is equal to 1, you will get a2 is equal to a1 plus 1 square. As n is 1, we get 2, and that is how they are related. So this is the relationship. To the fourth puzzle. Tiling of a 2D plane with successive Fibonacci sequences following the identity f of n plus 1 is equal to summation I is equal to 0 to n fi square gives us what type of a figure? Place quarter circles in each square and join them. What do you get? So see, you would be getting, first of all, a golden rectangle which will satisfy the above identity. And if we join the quarter circles which we draw in each square, we would be getting the Fibonacci spiral. Thank you for watching. Our next video will be on Lucas numbers, and we'll also do some identities which connect both Fibonacci and Lucas numbers. For detailed notes and practice problems, you can check my website www.profpritibajpayee.com.